Hello, today we are going to be making a video where I will be taking apart a speaker. So I've got my Fake Beats headphones, which I used in my last video, and I'm going to be trying to dismantle the speakers out of this. So the speakers which are commonly found in headphones and normal speakers are called electrodynamic loudspeakers, and basically that just means it's a speaker that uses an electromagnet and a diaphragm. So the way that works is that you have your electromagnet inside your speaker. So then your current goes into your electromagnet and makes it create a magnetic field. So the magnetic field is going on and off and on and off. So then on your diaphragm there's a little normal magnet. So whenever there's a magnetic field, the magnet's attracted to the electromagnet, so the diaphragm vibrates. So that's how an electrodynamic loudspeaker works. So now I'm going to be taking this apart and see if I can find one. So I'm going to be trying to get the speakers out of this. So first I'll try and pop out the speaker here. So this is just the speaker component of the headphones. So I'll just take off this cushion for your ears to sit on. Okay, what have we got here? See if I can, take anything off. Take off this piece of plastic. Alright, there you go. Alright, so this isn't just the case. Alright, so here's the actual speaker component. So here you can see the wire which leads to the electromagnet. You can see the wire splits off into a positive and negative. On this side you have a black piece of plastic which is covering the speaker diaphragm. So we'll see if I can take that off. Right. So then this here is the speaker diaphragm. I can feel it's very sort of delicate. It feels like it's going to go in. And here's the cone in the middle. So when C.W. Wright of General Electric and E.W. Kellogg of AT&T made the first electrodynamic loudspeaker, they realised that to cover all of the frequencies, they needed to make the diaphragm into a cone shape. So that was in 1921. And although this isn't a perfect cone because it's very flat, you can see a cone shape, and in the middle there's another little cone. So you can just see in the middle where the normal magnet is. So when the current goes into the electromagnet here, the electromagnet creates a magnetic field which goes on and off and on and off, which attracts the normal magnet. So then that magnet gets pulled towards the electromagnet on and off and on and off. So then the magnet's vibrating like that. And the speaker diaphragm is connected to the normal magnet, so that's why the diaphragm moves in and out and creates a vibration. So I've just got some stuff together, and I'm going to see if I can power this speaker so we can see the diaphragm vibrating. So for that I'm going to use the wire that I used for the piezo electric speaker. So I'm going to try and twist, so on the other end I'm going to try and twist these wires together so then I can try and get a current through it. I've been juggling this around so much, so the connection here might not work so well, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. Alright, so that's crudely twisted together. So I'm going to plug in my phone and see if I can get this to work. So we've managed to get this to work, so I'm just going to wrap this in a bit of tape so that the connections don't touch. So here you can feel that the speaker diaphragm is vibrating. It wasn't working before because the wires are touching, and because we burnt the coating off and they were touching, it was short-circuiting back into the phone, so then it wasn't working. But now we've wrapped it in tape and separated the wires a little bit better. It's working well. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple of little experiments. So you can see, because this is a piece of iron on this screwdriver, and you can see that it's very magnetic because it's getting attracted to the magnets inside of the speaker. Also, if I get a couple of grains of salt and put it onto the speaker, you can see that they're dancing around because of the vibration of the diaphragm. So the reason that the vibration creates sound is that when the diaphragm vibrates, the diaphragm pushes the air around it, so then you get vibrations in the air. So then those vibrations spread out and eventually go into your ears. So then your brain interprets that as sound. So then you can see these salts jumping around to the base. There you go. So now what I'm going to try is to cut, using a scalpel, I'm going to cut the diaphragm and see what I can find underneath there. So I'm going to pour the salt. Alright, so now I'm going to try and do this, just around the outside. So now I'm going to lift off the diaphragm. So now I can't hear anything. Ooh. When it goes back on though, you can see it now much more vibrating. Can you get that? See, you can see it's vibrating much more because it's not attached on. So I lift this up. So then you've got this copper coil, which is the electromagnet, and here you can see the normal magnet. So those wires there are connected to the wires here. So this is the electromagnet in the circuit connected to the diaphragm. So I was wrong, it's the other way around. And the electromagnet's connected to the diaphragm, which is something I've learned because I thought it was the other way around. So then here's the magnet here. And I wonder if this will attract to, because I'm surprised because my thing's not attracting to the electromagnet, which means it must be a very weak magnetic field. But then it doesn't need to be very strong because it's a very small and not very loud speaker. Alright. See what else I can take off here. I think that's about it. So that's how the speaker works. So this was a successful experiment. So I took this apart. Well, nothing broken. It still works, which is interesting, even though I've stripped it to the bare bones and cut off the diaphragm. So that's interesting. I also learned something, that the electromagnet's connected to the diaphragm, not the actual magnet, which now makes sense because the magnet's much heavier than the electromagnet. So that I've still got another speaker to play around with on these headphones, so I'll decide what to do with that. So yeah, this has been a very good experiment. So this is how a speaker works.